Good afternoon, YouTube. My name is Anthony. This is Palmetto Prepared, and today we're going to talk about finding silver in the wild. And when I say in the wild, I'm talking about like not from a coin store or an online source like a JP Bullion or 8mex. I'm talking about like finding silver randomly out in your life, you know, your normal everyday thing. Now, silver is starting to get its all kinds of uses, silver and gold, from computers to sustainable technology like wind turbines and solar panels and battery technology. So it's obviously increasing in industrial usage, so the value is always going to be there. And these are some of the places that you can find it if you want to stack silver, or if you want to kind of, I don't want to say hoard, but if you want to keep some silver for yourself without actually having to go and pay full price for some silver, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, pocket change. And when I say pocket change, I'm talking about everyone's got a change jar or coin jar that they pull their pocket change out and toss it in there, whether it be a water bottle, whatever. Go ahead and dump that and look through your change. Now when I say that, you need to find coinage, specifically United States coinage that is pre-1964. And when I say pre-1964, I'm not talking about pennies or nickels. We will talk about nickels, but pennies and nickels are not silver pre-1964. Obviously no penny has silver in it, but if you have dimes, quarters, half dollars, 1964 and earlier are 90% silver. So that's why you don't really see those in circulation much, or hardly ever, because they're silver and they've been pulled out of circulation over the years. Now every once in a while, during times of Christmas season or recession times where people start dumping those jars, you'll start seeing them pop up in circulation more often. Or we do have people getting their houses robbed and all kinds of things where it somehow pops into these collections, seem to pop their way back in, or people die and their family don't know what to do with it, so they just throw it back into circulation. So that's one of the things that you need to look at if you want to get some pocket change silver, because if you got a pre-1964 coin, dime, quarter, half dollar, that is 90% silver. Now, half dollars from 65 to 70, 1965 to 1970 are 40% silver. So they're worth keeping. So keep that in mind. And nickels from 1942 to 1945 are 35% silver. Those are what we call war nickels. If you look on the back side, the reverse of the coin, above the Monticello, you'll see a letter. And that letter is going to be P, D, or S. Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco Mint. If you see a big letter above the Monticello on nickels 42, 43, 44, and 45, then those are war nickels and they contain 35% silver. So you want to keep those as well. So first way you want to find some silver is look through your pocket change. Alright, now number 2 is going to be coin roll hunting. This is going to be kind of a piggyback from the first, going through your pocket change, but a lot of people, a big hobby nowadays, and myself included, is you go buy, rolls of change from your bank, and you look through them for silver, and whatever is not silver, you can dump in a coin star for a fee, or take it back to a bank that's got one of those coin counters for free that just automatically puts it into your account. So it's almost like a free hobby, it just takes your time to do it. Now, if you're a big fan of coins and currency like I am, then you look for things other than precious metals. You look for errors and whatnot, but you don't have to do that. You can just look for silver if you want to. Now, obviously, the most lucrative is going to be half dollars, because if you find a 90% half dollar, that's over almost $6 worth of silver. So $6 for 50 cents worth is pretty good, but it's getting more harder and harder to find because a lot more people are doing it. Now you can go get boxes from your bank to where you pay a certain amount of money. You get a whole box of them and you can look through it. I like doing nickels personally because war nickels aren't really that sought out for. You'll find them a lot more often, and every once in a while you get a buffalo or all kinds of fun stuff. So coin roll hunting, same principle of finding coinage, pre-64 coinage, but every once in a while you'll find a foreign or something like that as well. So alright, number 3, that is going to be look in your random coin star rejection slot. Now when I say random coin star, I mean you go to Walmart, you go to your grocery store, or wherever has a coin star, if it's a green one, and you see the coin star itself, and you look down below and you'll see the rejection slot. Well, a lot of these work on weight, and silver coinage weighs more than normal coinage. So if a dime is calibrated for so much weight, a silver dime is going to obviously weigh more than a clad dime. Clad being a cupro nickel layered piece of change that's been made past 1965. So they'll reject those down below. Now, a lot of times, and surprisingly enough, I actually do find a decent amount of silver here. I probably found over the course of doing this maybe 6 or 7 silver dimes and 2 quarters, silver quarters. So it's not like you're going to get a lot of silver, but hey, if you're just at the store anyway, why not look by and look at it? You never know what you're going to find. So it's kind of one of those things where you need to do, plus you'll find, you know, some wheat pennies and whatnot. But just go look down there, boom, pop out some silver, easy way to get it without really trying to do anything. Number 4, and this one's I'm just gonna lump all these together. Thrift stores, flea markets, and like an estate sale or yard sale. Now, what you're looking for in this one is you're looking for items that may be made of silver. Now, when I say thrift store, yard sale, flea market, you know, whatever else, a lot of times you'll see a lot of older people, you know, the elderly who are moved out of their home. They may have died. They have old antiques from 1940, whatever, and prior. And a lot of times those will be made of silver. And they'll be made of sterling silver. So when you have a sterling silver accent on something, then it'll be, hey pup, how you doing? So when you have a sterling silver, lay down. Lay down. Good girl. So, sorry about that, my dog's in here now. So you'll have a silver ashtray ring, which I found before at a thrift store. Or you'll have a silver picture frame or silver belt buckle or something of the sort that a lot of someone will just donate because they don't realize that it's silver or they don't care. And the way you find this is you look at the stamp on the backside. Now, if it's actual silver, when I say sterling silver, it's going to be marked with a 925 or a sterling stamp. Now, earlier than like 1890, you'll see coin silver or dinner silver or something like that, but it'll usually say the word silver. Now, you want to be wary of this because you'll see a lot of times it'll say silver plate or silver company. That doesn't necessarily mean it's silver, it could just be plated. And if you see that, then it's not fully silver, it's just usually plated. Now, I wrote down a nice little cheat sheet so we can all be on the same page whenever we're looking for silver or gold, because sometimes gold will pop up as well. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about, say you're at the Goodwill, which Goodwill, depending on where you're at, a lot of times they'll be pretty picked through, or people will work there, call somebody. I know you're not supposed to, but it's getting harder and harder to find silver at a Goodwill. But thrift stores, you know, Salvation Army or whatever, you'll still find them every once in a while. And when I say that, I'm talking about pieces like this. It's a simple little egg timer, but it's made of silver. I found this one at the Salvation Army. You'll see the sterling mark on the inside. Now, you can look for jewelry, but you can also look for, like I said, handbag clasps, all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, it's serving trays, whatever else. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to, you can't go and grab a sterling silver, or I'm sorry, a silver plate tray or cup or mug or whatever, because you'll find those pretty often. And they have their own value every once in a while online. If someone's trying to complete a set and they only need that one more piece, you might get a little bit more than what you paid for. But for the most part, you're not going to get any kind of melt value out of a silver plate item. So we're just going to leave that one be. But whenever you're looking for, like say a flea market, this is one of my favorites, say you go to a flea market or a yard sale or an estate sale, if you find jewelry, especially not American jewelry, a lot of people are expecting to find a 925 or a sterling mark on their silver. And if they don't find one of those marks, they're automatically going to think it's junk. Same with gold. If they don't see a 10K, 14K, 18K mark on their gold, they're going to automatically assume it's junk, and they're going to think it's not real gold. So with that being said, European silver, a lot of times isn't going to be marked 925 or sterling. You'll find 935 because it's a little bit more, a little bit higher, or 835, which is very popular, and 800, which is 80% silver. So keep in mind, I found this before where you'll be at a thrift store and you'll pull out a ring or a necklace. This in my case was a necklace, and it said on the clasp 800. Now it's German silver, so people see 800 like, oh, okay, well that must be just some whatever. Actually, probably looked at it backwards because it looked like 008. But hey, that is 80% silver, and it's German made, so just keep in mind that does exist. Now, same thing with gold, especially old gold. When I say old gold, I mean like pre-1950. Now, you'll see European gold the same way. And I found 10K gold before, 10K gold locket, that's jewelry, and it said 417 on it for 10K. But it's European, so 417 is the purity of gold. Now 9K is going to be 375, 10K 417, sometimes 416. 12K will be 500, 14K is 585, 18K 750, 22K 917, and 24K obviously 999. So if you see any of those numbers inside some sort of jewelry at a yard sale or an estate sale, because that's most likely where you're going to find the jewelry, then that is a European counterpart of your 14K, 10K, 22K, all kinds of fun stuff, and you get the good gold that way. So what someone, you're kind of exploiting their ignorance about something, and you might take something that was mistaken as junk that's real that just didn't know about it. So keep those ones in mind. Now, if you're out at a thrift store or whatever and you find something silver and you flip it over and it says EPNS, that stands for electroplated nickel silver. It's just plated. No point in spending that kind of money. And I've seen places like Goodwill with like a big sterling, it looks like sterling, serving mug, like a tea set, the big one in the middle, EPNS, and they want like $7 for it. I'm like, I'm not paying $7 for plated silver. It's just whatever. It's just, I'm sure it's copper underneath and it would have a worth copper value, but you still won't get your melt value out of that. So that's usually just silver plate. It'll also say silver plate or EPBM, which is electroplate Britannica metal. That is just an alloy. It's not gold. It's not anything special. Keep in mind, you also want to pay attention for, look on the back, hey, made out of brass, because brass or copper or whatever can make it look kind of like gold. HGE and GF, heavy gold electroplate or gold filled. Those are also a couple full marks to make to make it look like these are gold, but they're not really gold. It's just a plated kind of gold substitute. So keep in mind, they're very good ways to find gold and silver in thrift stores and yard sales and estate sales. So that is a perfect way to do it. I'm always stopping by even Goodwill just to make sure, because every once in a while you never know, you're going to come across one, and go ahead and check out your local one. Now the bigger areas may not have it, but the older towns with an older population, obviously when they pass away, their kids just donate everything, and you have a better chance of finding something. All right. Now that brings me to my final one, which is going to be metal detecting. Now, you don't have to get into this hobby. This is just a hobby that I thoroughly enjoy, and it's one of those things that I do in my spare time. Now, it does require a lot of upfront cost because you're going to have to buy your metal detector, your pinpointer, your shovel, all kinds of fun stuff. But hey, if you come across a deal, someone quitting the hobby, or you got an uncle or whatever that's going to give you their stuff, then it could be easy way to make or to find some silver. Now, I've had times where I've gone 40 hours and not found a single piece of silver, but I've also had times where I'll spend 2 hours doing a yard and I'll find 6 pieces of silver. So who knows when you're going to be able to do it. And so far since I've been doing it, I found 120 silver coins and some random pieces of gold, but I found gold too, but some silver jewelry and random pieces from old homes. Now you'll pull pieces like this, which are a little makeup case and it's stamped sterling, or you'll get pieces that look like junk and it's really just a big piece of silver that's been crushed from an old home. Now those are amazing pieces of silver, 925, and it's they're good weight to them, so they're worth, just those two alone, a couple bucks, which can't hurt. But also you get some good jewelry. And when I say good jewelry, I mean like, yeah, you never know when you're going to find some good stuff. Now, if you live next to the beach, this is all from yards and public places. Now, if you go to the beach, then you're obviously going to be able to increase your silver and gold 10 times over than what I've done so far. But this is just 2 years of metal detecting, all the silver that I found metal detecting. So by all means, do not knock it until you try it. If you really want to get into it, by all means, just let me know down in the comment section. I could totally make a video about how to metal detect and what you're looking for and all that fun stuff. But hey, this is the exception, not the rule. Don't always go out thinking you're automatically going to get a whole bunch of fun stuff. But with that being said, those are all the ways that you can find silver. Metal detecting is obviously my favorite, but people have plenty of luck at thrift stores and cornrow hunting and searching their pocket change. So don't knock it till you look at it. Keep in mind, silver is one of those things that is low at the time. Right now, doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. 2012, silver was up to $45 an ounce. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. If you learned something, go ahead and give me a like. You got any questions you want me to go farther, or if you found another way to find silver or precious metals, then by all means drop it down below and share it with everybody else, and subscribe if you haven't. And I will catch y'all later, okay? Bye.